Jesse Groom here with OpenSourceNDT.com, and today we're going to talk about Omni PC. This is one of my favorite phased array softwares to use for evaluating data. It's lightweight, it's easy to use, and it's very responsive. In this video we're going to focus on report generation on both the 5 series Omni PC and the 4 series. So that's the new X3 versus the old MX2. I have tips and tricks for both of these softwares to make your report times much faster, more consistent, and still allow for that custom reporting that everybody loves to do with their phased array reports. So stay tuned until after the intro. We're going to talk about Omni PC 4.4 first. My company at the time actually purchased this software. We didn't have a new MX2, and the speed benefits and the features in this software were just better than any of the alternatives, and it just made total sense to pick this software up. So we purchased this software. I really enjoyed this software. It's very fast, it's very responsive, there's a lot of features built in, and it really helped me out quite a bit. But let's get into reporting. So a lot of people don't like the standard OmniScan report. They feel the need to do their own custom reporting, and that's fine. I relied on the standard OmniScan report quite a bit because it just made things faster. I had all my values, everything was done. So the fastest way I found to do a report using this software is to have a sheet where I'd have a macro set up where it'd pop me out a report with a nice header, everything I wanted on it, and then I'd come into my software, I'd hit preview, select past OmniScan report down to just above the technician table, copy, and then paste with the merge formatting. So if I change my layout here to narrow margins, you'll see I have a pretty nice report. It's well formatted. There's another route we can go, and that is to paste keeping the source formatting. And it looks a little bit nicer, but you have to come back in here and change your images. But at the end of the day, it's a much slicker looking report. It's good enough, it was very fast, and will pass most audits and requirements by your customer. So to get it to format properly there, you do have to come in here and change some settings. So if you go to your computer, go to your C drive, go to Olympus NDT, OmniScan 4.4, template, report, complete, you'll have these files here. Now, when you first open these files, this was, I think it was 950 instead of 400 for the width. That's I believe that's a pixel width. And so I changed them all to 700. There's quite a few areas you got to do that to get this to format right. But once you do that, it will pop out the correct format. And there's probably different things you could do to make this table stretch over here to that 700. But the big thing is, if you open these up as a text file with Notepad, you can change stuff in here and modify this to get the right report format that you need to be pasted into Word. It takes a little bit of time. You have to go through quite a bit of these files to do that, but once you do that, you won't have to ever do it again on that particular machine. I lost my originals, but I believe I had it so that the pictures would format to the right size, but yeah, get in here and play around. So that will save you from that HTML document. Another quick note here, from this screen you could print it to a PDF, but what you'll find is it will put everything on its own page. So if you do want to print it off as a PDF right from that page, you can go to template, HTML head, and where it says H3 page break always, you can change that to never. So now, if I print that same report as a PDF, it will not put everything on its own page. It will skip that part. You do have broken tables here, but you have a much smaller document. So that's another option if you would like to go that way and just do it with the PDF reports. You could always go in there and change that. But yeah, come in here and change these files. Another little trick is when you're at this section right here in the report preview, you can right click and do export to Excel. And you'll see Excel blink. It brings up this little table. Just go ahead and hit import, select the cell, and then this is all the information. And the only thing you're really lacking here is your indication photos. So this is another way you could auto import information into a custom Excel sheet. So yeah, go ahead and look at that, play around with that, see if you could do anything useful there. And one last final note here, if you notice that your indications aren't clipping right, so like this one, see how I have some of the menu in here and it's kind of offset, most likely your issue is, it could be the resolution. I think I had that problem in the past, but it's your scaling. So now if I go make another indication here, you'll see that it's clipping right when scaled to 100%. So now on to Omni PC 5.2. This is the brand new software that's meant to handle X3 data. As of right now, these are not compatible, so the X3 can only run on the 5.2, the MX2 can only run on the 4.4, but that might change in the future. This is really nice software. I'm sure this is a unit clone. It's fast, it's responsive, just like Omni PC, the original. One huge note here is that this is free, and this will always be free. So that's very awesome for customers and anybody that wants to review your data, auditors. So very excited about this. Looks good, it's smooth. We're still really early on in the development of this software. But right now we're just focusing in on the reporting. So if we go to the Omni PC 5.2 report, there's some pretty interesting things here. So I can click this button here and I can add my own custom image. There's a lot of things in here I can edit. This is very nice, very useful, right within the report. And it's your basic report. This doesn't seem like it's quite finished, because if you look here, if I hit this generate PDF, so yeah, there's my header and stuff, but it brought in these empty camera images and it left this click tap to edit. So that's a little weird. It's 100% because the software is so new. They probably haven't built a lot into this section yet, but let me show you something I'm really excited about. If you click report, don't touch anything, because if you touch something, it's just going to do that one particular section. But if you hit export, it will export a zip file, pictures of the indications numbered. It will give you your setup, and if you open this setup Excel document, this has every piece of information that makes that report, except for the indication table, which is in its own Excel file. So this is very nice. This is very useful. So what can you do with a file like this? Well, I made a little demo sheet here. If we do my weld overlay sheet, we can make a little sheet and paste in our new information, and it will update our weld overlay. So this will be very beneficial in the future for doing custom reports. All the information can come in. And I'm sure they're going to fix up this report section. The other nice thing to note here is if I show my indication table, I can classify my indication, I can accept or reject it, and put in notes. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice feature. Still very early. I'm excited to see what this software has in store. We have years to expand on this. It's still very early in the development of this software. So that about wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll try and put some more information on what you have to change inside those background files. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.